Welcome to Covid-19 Mythbusters hosted by One Earth Academy.
So I'm going to be looking at the effect and some questions that the kids have in relation to the effect. So Ian,
what is the protein spike and how does the COVID-19 vaccine work compared to traditional vaccines?
Okay, so the protein spike is this. If you see the coronavirus molecule, it looks like a circle with lots of spikes sticking out of it. So that's the spike protein on the coronavirus. And what it does is that's what helps it infiltrate into the body. So when it enters someone's body, that's what causes the infection. So that's how the coronavirus infects people. So what the Oxford vaccine did, so they used the adenovirus, which is what causes the common cold. So they took that from chimpanzees and they modified it so that it can't cause you to get sick once it enters the body. So then into that adenovirus, the common cold virus, they added the gene for the spike protein of the coronavirus. So then when it enters your body can start to produce the spike protein and activate your immune system without it making you sick. So then if you come into contact with the coronavirus in the future, then your body can recognize it and fight it.
Hello. Does the vaccine make everyone immune to COVID-19?
No, unfortunately it doesn't. So what the vaccine does is it prevents people from getting really sick with COVID, ending up in hospital or dying. But actually it only stops about 85% of people from getting COVID. So there's different ways of looking at it, but it's not 100% effective. It's about 85% effective. And that comes from if you give one dose to someone and then you give them a second dose about 12 weeks later.
Why do some people get side effects after the dose? What are the most common side effects and why does it happen?
Okay, so people get side effects to a vaccine because their body's mounting an immune response. So the most common things you can get following COVID-19 vaccine is reactions around the area where you had the injection. So you can get some redness, some swelling, some pain. They usually settle within about 48 hours. Some people get sort of more generalized things, so you can feel a bit flu-like or a bit unwell. You feel a bit more tired, a bit achy, when you might have a fever. So interestingly, when we did the trial, we compared people. So some of the participants we asked in the initial part of the trial to take Panadol or paracetamol regularly for 24 hours once they were vaccinated. And we compared it to people who didn't. And actually, we found that if you take some paracetamol or Panadol after your vaccination, it greatly reduces any side effects you might get. So we have been recommending that to people, and it does seem to help quite a lot.
Why does one need to have 2 doses? And why is there a time period between the first and second dose?
So the 2 doses comes from, initially it was started as a 1-dose vaccine, but they found that if you gave people a booster dose, the effectiveness of the vaccine improved. So after 1 dose of the Oxford vaccine, they found that it was about 70% effective in people, and they didn't know how long you would be immune to COVID from that first dose. So what they decided to do was give a second dose to improve your immunity and make sure it lasted longer. The time interval they've looked into a lot, and they've shown that giving it at a space of 12 weeks actually improves the effectiveness of the vaccine. So that's what the 85% effectiveness is from that Alana was asking about as well.
With the new strains of the virus, do we need a new vaccine too?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, and it's actually one of the questions I get asked on a daily basis by people in the trial as well. currently, we don't have sort of newer vaccines to fight variants. And in terms of the worrying ones, there's the one that's come out of Kent in the UK, but actually the vaccines that we've currently got are pretty effective against it. So we won't really need a new vaccine for that one. The one that's worrying most people is the South African variant, where it seems that vaccines aren't working as well against it. So I think actually in the future, the teams behind the vaccines we've got now will look at modifying their current vaccine formula to include better protection against the variants. So I think you will need a booster dose at some stage. It just will not be right now. And it might just mean that this sort of vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccine, might become an yearly thing that someone has, like a flu jab, or so we just need to wait and see, really. But that's an excellent question, and one that scientists are looking into right now.